Hi guys, just want to do a reaction video. Just watched the video of Paul, Old Dog New Trick. It's about the an expat. He's in his 60s and married a very young Filipina. And then for I think this was I wrote down some note because I'm getting old. This was back in 2014. 2014, he met a young Filipina. He's in the 60s, and then the Filipina is probably maybe 20 or younger, maybe 18, who knows. Um, and then they have a relationship. They start to living together. And then she also, after 2 years, she said she's pregnant, and the baby was his. So then I think she just want the man um, to to be responsible for the baby. And then after the baby was born, he saw the baby. What a big surprise! It looked Filipino or Filipina. I'm not quite sure the baby is a girl or boy, but it looked Filipino. It's a Filipino baby. So then the wife finally admitted it was not his. It was somebody else. She had a boyfriend, and then but to the expat. By the way, his name is Frank. To Frank, he just when Frank saw the baby, he kind of fall in love with the baby, and he doesn't really care if it's his or not his. He just want to be the father of the baby. According to Paul, Frank fall in love with the baby, so he signed the birth certificate and kind of forgive his wife, or at that time was the girlfriend, and he signed not only signed the birth certificate, but he also want to legitimize the whole. So the baby have a real family. So Frank decided to do the right thing and marry the Filipina who cheated on him. So and then lives go on, and eventually the young Filipina was getting an allowance from Frank, and then she always kind of make an excuse to to go away for like 2 or 3 weeks, and will leave the baby to Frank. And after a while, it's start to kind of be a burden, to Frank, and then he finally said, this is not working out. So in 2019, after 5 years, um, they decided to split, and the young Filipina decided that she wants to go to Manila. She left Frank, and she took the baby with her to, and they went to Manila. So now Frank, he's now he's lonely. So of course he has to go find another Filipina, and then he started to go on a dating site and finally met a beautiful, more mature Filipina. Her name is Marcy. Marcy, I saw, Paul was interviewing her. She was quite nice lady, very sweet, very beautiful smile. And Frank and Marcy just like like fall in love at first sight. I don't know. They you know they go out for like 2 months, and they decided to to live together. But since Frank is married, they have to keep it hidden from the wife, even though the wife is in Manila, and Frank is, I believe, it's in Dumaguete. But they have to keep it like they have to keep it. They have to be very careful. They have to keep it privacy, because if the wife find out, she can threaten Frank, and then Frank can go to jail because Frank's still married, at the time to the young Filipina, and the young Filipino was trying to, kind of get money because now the baby was with her, try to get the support, and for a while Frank was, I believe, was sending money. But after that, Marcy has to kind of tell Frank, hey, you know what, you have to stop, like supporting her, because obviously, she have another Filipino. She's obviously is living with another Filipino. So and then finally, Frank listened to Marcy and stopped supporting, the young Filipino, the wife, who's in Manila, and they just lost communication. Cut off the communication, which is good. So the two of them, Marcy and Frank, was living, a happy life, except being being tied as a man and wife. Other than that, they're pretty happy. They seem to get along very well. And then Frank was very generous with Marcy. He was giving Marcy like 50,000 peso a month, so that's about $1,000. And then Marcy was I think the 50,000 allowance was to cover their expenses of the house, and then she was only able to spend like 25. She's a saver, so she kind of, and she's also smart. She liked to save some money for rainy days, so she saved half of it, like 25,000 a month. She was saving it. Only spent the 25,000. But at that time, Frank is also is fighting with prostate enlargement. So eventually, this year, he has he has to be rushed to the hospital, and he I think, I'm not quite sure, he went to like a coma or something like that. He was really really bad, and then he passed away. Not too long ago, he passed away. So now the burden is on Marcy, what to do with the dead body, because she's just a girlfriend. She's not the wife. She doesn't have the authority. And then the hospital wants the family to give the the authorized release the body to the morgue. And then she Marcy tried to contact the kids in the U.S. Frank has three other kids in the U.S., and they was not very cooperative. They were giving Marcy all the like hard time. They were worried. They don't want to signing the paper because they don't want to be enticed with the obligation of whatever the fee from the hospital. They don't want to get the responsibility. They were afraid, according to Marcy. But Marcy said, hey, you know what? You guys don't have to worry anything about that because it was my signature, it was my name on the papers at the hospital. If they're gonna go after, if they're gonna go after me, it's not you. And you, the three of you, are in the U.S. and this we are here in the Philippines, so you don't have to worry about that. So they kind of go back and forth, but finally the son said, okay, you can release the body, but then now the body is transferred to the morgue, and then according to Marcy, Frank requests that he wants the body, his body to be cremated right away, and then that's another dilemma right there. The kids were not very cooperative because again, Marcy is the girlfriend. She doesn't have the authority to decide to get the body cremated. It has to be the family, the kids. So long story short, Marcy was able finally to get it cremated, and then she had to Oh, by the way, I missed out that when they were still trying to bickering about the what to do with the dead body. The kids want to get the death certificate. I think when I heard that the kids requested, you give us the death certificate and then we'll pay for whatever, the bill, that's what the kids wanted. But Marcy said, how can I, get the death certificate without paying the bill first? The hospital want to be paid first before they give you a death certificate. So, just to make it, simple, so Marcy, just pay it out of out of her pocket, out of her money, because she, according to her, she was saving the 25,000 a month. Uh, so she had to use her money to pay for Frank body. Anyway, I think that's what also happened, at the cremation. This all, from Marcy. So I don't know. That's long story short here. I don't know. Well, according to Paul was trying to advise, the viewer, if the expat, if you are into this situation, you have to give your girlfriend or your wife, the something like a written paper, like what do you call that? Like authority. I forget the word. Some kind of authority, what to do. A will, not a will. Uh, can't remember the right word. I'm getting old. Uh, so you need to give your girlfriend or spouse some authority to they can make a decision, like if you want to be cremated, you want to be what you go to that tomb or something. My mind is not working. Something like that, right? So, but then I think they talk about that, and kind of Frank was kind of hesitate. Uh, Marcy was saying that it's not like I'm trying, like I'm gonna go after his money, since Frank doesn't have that much money in the Philippines, maybe in the state, maybe he has money in the state. I believe he has money in state. That's why the kids doesn't wanna wants the death certificate so they can go. I'm just listening to the story. I think the kids want the death certificate so they can claim whatever. The state Frank has in the U.S. Now leaving poor Marcy with nothing, So if you're a Filipina, if you're into a situation like that, if you know that the man you're seeing, is married, maybe you have to think about it. Maybe it's a good time. Maybe you should not be involved with that kind of situation. You should find somebody who's single, who's free. uh, but then, according to Marcy, she fall in love with Frank, and she that's all that matters. So hey, it's your decision. Um, about Frank, I think that's what Frank want also. That's what he wanted. I think he has a good life. He has a good 10 years. 2014 to 2024. 2014, Frank met a young Filipina at 20 something or maybe younger. And then later, 5 years later, Frank met Marcy. Um, Even though Frank at that time already suffering from a prostate enlargement, but he's kind of stubborn. He doesn't want to go to get it. He doesn't want to go operation. I I mean I think he just want to live that kind of life. In a way, I kind of understand it. Somehow, sometimes I feel that way too. Uh, I don't like to get. I don't right now. I don't have. I'm retired right now. I don't have health insurance because I left my job. And then I don't have what do you call that, Medicare, because I'm not 65. You have to, I think you have to be 65 or 60, 65 and a half or 66, I don't know. Um, so, so I'm just, keeping my finger crossed. Anyway, I'm healthy anyway. So worst case scenario is if something, I need some kind of emergency, I'll just have to go to the Philippines. It's much cheaper there. For minor things, I have a very good doctor here that I've been going to for like 20 some years that we know. It's almost like a family, almost like a friend. So and anyway, so that's the thing. But what I'm trying to say is, I was telling this to my friends and family in the Philippines. I said, even though once I get my Medicare, I don't want to go to. I mean, I do go to check up like annually, something like that. But I have not done like what do you call that? Putting that something into your throat, to check the inside. Even I have insurance. Still, my doctor was saying, "Do you want to do that?" I said, "No, I don't want to do that." So uh, I don't know. It's just me. It's just me. You know, uh, it's funny. I always said that I don't want to live too long. Uh, because I don't want to, experience that I seen old people like, they struggle, they will struggle like walking or something like that. I don't want to get into that situation. Maybe it's weird to say this, but I feel like what's life? You sitting there almost like every day, like just like it's hard to move around. So I don't know. Um, I don't, like I'm not in like worried about dying or something like that. For me, as long as it's a quick one. I just wish it's a quick one. So when I heard somebody who passed away, of course, I would say that just to be polite. I say, "Oh, I'm sorry," something like that. But honestly, I don't feel really. I feel like we are all going there anyway. We are all going there. This is just my humble opinion, guys. Just my humble opinion. So I don't really feel that, like sad or something like that. Unless I really know that person. There are, some of the people, that I know that pass away. I feel, oh, of course, I'm gonna feel sad, but it's just like I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm gonna. Uh, what do you call that? Like mourning for like a whole week or something like that. One of my ex boss passed away, and I felt so bad because I worked for them for like almost 10 years, and then yeah, they treated me very well. When he died, I cry, but I didn't show people that I cry. I just like cries, didn't show it to other people, but I felt bad because the man was really very good to me and was very generous to me and my family. So and then when he passed away, I was just kind of trying to flashback, the years that I worked for them, for that family. Um, it's just we for almost 10 years we never had one like argument or something like that. It's just unbelievable, like like he's always very respectful, and what if I suggest something like that, he will, he we just have never have an argument, which is unusual because when I was younger, I remember uh, I usually, argue with my boss, with with my bosses. Uh, I don't know, but this family, the one I was saying that, I cry when he passed away. Yeah, I was. We never have an argument. He's always very respectful. Treat me very, very good, and then that So, but what I'm trying to say is, when people pass away, I think when people pass away, the person who died is, for me, I keep saying, I keep saying to my family or friend, I say he's lucky. No more no more pain, no more problem. He's up there. But the people who's suffering was the one who, who's like the wife, who's here on earth. Those are the people who will be suffering. But the one who die, they're lucky. That's what I said, behind the scene, of course. Anyway, so I hope, expat, if you are watching this, be very careful, not to get involved right away with your Filipina. Uh, you just try to, if somebody get pregnant, just try to live together, for at least 5, 10 years before you tie the knot, because otherwise, you will, you might get in trouble, like Frank. uh, Now, he should not have married her, because she already cheated on him from the very beginning. And then but still, he decided he want to marry her. And now, when he met Marcy, they were like living in almost like a criminal. They're hiding. I don't like that kind of lifestyle. It's just not me. So anyway, just be very careful. Thank you, and let me know your thought on this video. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.